And I'm back, and I'm continuing on with the installation of that freestanding gas fireplace. And the contents of this box is what we're going to do today. All right. Now there's a liner and a cap for the outlet from the gas fireplace. So that's our wood burning stove chimney. It's an insulated chimney. What you do is you clean that, and you can put the liner up inside of it. These liners will work inside of an insulated chimney like this, or you can even put it up through an old brick chimney. So what happens is that flexible pipe just connects to the stove down below and to the cap at the top. See, there's the cap for the wood stove there. That's going to come off. We'll renew that with this other cap that comes with the kit. There's another thing here you're going to see today is you're going to see me use my harness to get up on this metal roof. Now, metal roofs are great, but they're slippery to walk on. So I have a harness system that I use when I go up there. Okay, so that chimney up there is a 6-inch inside diameter chimney, and this is a 4-inch liner, and that fits it perfectly. There'll be a little bit of room in there. Okay, so this is 25 feet of liner, and it's not 25 feet there, but it does expand as you pull on it a little bit. But we won't need anywhere near 25 feet for that length there, so we're gonna fit it to the cap, and then we'll push it down through the chimney and we'll cut it off to where it needs to go on the stove. We'll leave a little bit, you know, so the stove can be moved out and stuff like that if we need to, but that's more than we need. Okay, so, and then this is what the chimney cap looks like for that, okay? And that's different than the wood stove one. And the kit also comes with a cap if you were gonna go over an old brick chimney. Like if you had a brick chimney and you wanna put this liner in it, the liner would come up through there and this would go down over the masonry chimney. Okay, so I found some sheet metal screws. I got a couple of small drill bits, and I got my drill. So if I look how long that collar is, that collar comes well past the sticker on here. Okay, so anywhere in here would be good to put a screw. See, because I got this lip I got to go by. So if I go right along here, that'll be fine. Okay, and make sure that's bottomed out on the cap. Let's try that. I also have a hose clamp I'm going to put at the top of that too. A little extra insurance. We don't want that to become disconnected from the cap, because the cap is pretty much what holds it up at the top of the chimney. If that comes off the cap, it's going to slide down and not take the gases all the way to the top. Okay, a little snug, maybe a little more. Okay, so the combination of that hose clamp and those screws, that is a permanent connection. Now I'm going to take the sticker off of here. It says here, for use in existing masonry chimneys or factory built chimneys and vents. Okay, so that's the system that we're using it in. We're using it in a factory built chimney. And this is made by Echo. These guys are in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But other similar manufacturers are all over the place. And this one is UL rated for the United States and for Canada. That's the sticker right there for that. So, and what is it? It's there's the part number for that kit. There's my little helper waiting in the window for me. If he could, he'd be out here helping, wouldn't you? Huh? You'd be right out here helping, wouldn't you, Chevy? Yeah. Okay, so here's my climbing harness that I go up on the roof with. And Basically, this one here's got these green parts here. This is where you put your feet through. Otherwise, you know, it gets kind of confusing, you know, which way you put it on. But you put one leg down through there and one leg down through there. And then the shoulders I've marked. See, this one I've got marked one shoulder. And the other, this one here's marked the other shoulder. See, that way I'll never mix it up, right? So it kind of goes on like a pack sack. And this is in the back, and there's this lanyard. And we got these safety hooks on it. All right, now that lanyard, you know, if anybody is in the safety business and they look at that lanyard probably needs to be changed. But I've had it for a long time and I haven't been able to break it. But you know, if you were working for a company or something, that lanyard is well beyond its useful life and should be changed with a new one. See these safety hooks, they can't be opened unless you push here first. You push there and you push there. That's so the hook doesn't come undone without you actually trying to do it, because just a regular hook with a little bail like that can get pressed and it can open and release, and you don't want that. And then the key component of the whole system is this little climber, and it's got an arrow here. It says up. And so what you do, you open that lock and you put rope in here. This is for 5/8 rope. So you put your rope in there and you close it and you lock it. And this lanyard goes on here. Okay, so you're hooked to that. So as you climb, you lift this up and this will slide up the rope. Okay, this is free to go up. But if you come down and weight comes on it, it locks on the rope and it won't let you fall. But to move it up, no problem. You can always move it up, because what that does, I'll show you in here, it moves the little, there's a bit of a cam that moves. See that tooth cam? So when you go up, it releases it and lets this slide up or down on the rope, no problem. But if you fall or you put weight on it, that bears against the rope and won't let you fall. So that's what you would use. I mean, you know, all these guys that go at heights and work on these incredibly high spots and stuff, they would wear something like this, and they would wear a newer one. You know, they probably wear something that's brand new, just for the sake that it's, you know, anything that's worn could be ready to fail. But for me going on the roof, this is fine for me, and I've used it for years. Okay, so this is the rope I use to get up on the roof. Now, I change it periodically, and I change the knot at the top periodically. Like, I don't leave it all in the same spot so it chafes through. And this is mooring line for a boat. It's Samson braid. So even though it's not a very big diameter, it is quite strong, okay? And I'll show you that one a little bit better once I get up there. What I've got is I got a fixed point there, and I've got several fixed points all along the roof that I can pass the rope through. So the climber goes on there like that, with the arrow pointing up. Throw it up like that. And it was actually no mistake that I put on Tevas this morning. These Tevas, the rubber in them is soft, and it helps you stick to the roof, as opposed to hard work boots. Don't stick as well. The other thing you got to be careful for, see all that stuff on the roof, that'll make you slip too if you're not careful. So it's always good to be up here with some type of a safety line. So the attachment point is there, and I've got other attachment points that are bolted through the beam into the attic. See how that is? And there's the chimney right here. There's this other cap, like that. All right. So I did clean this out with a brush, so there's nothing loose in there. There's no creosote that's loose. There's a little bit on the walls that'll always be there, but the chimney was cleaned and it hasn't been used since. Okay, you got it tied on there, Chevy? Okay, let's see here, bud. Chevy's down there tying on stuff for me. Oh yeah, he's got a... Oh, he tied it pretty good for a cat. Not bad at all. That's a good job, Chevy. Okay. It's on its way up. Okay, here it goes down the chimney. Anybody like that sound of fingernails on the blackboard? All right. All right, now. There it is. Just gonna untie the rope. Oh yeah, Chevy did a good job. Look at that. He put a clove hitch on there. Okay, one last look at that. And down that goes. So all the weight of that aluminum pipe is now on that cap. And that's why we had to attach it so well. So that looks good. Okay, I was up here a little while ago and I pulled that out again. I put this rectangular piece in there. Now I am going to cut the corners off, but with just this sitting on top of the other chimney, you'd had to seal it here for water not to go in. And this one's got a seal right here, you see right there. So this is better if it's cut off. And I got that high temperature silicone, that's going to go between here and the top of the old chimney, and a couple screws in it to hold it down. And I've drilled the holes. Okay, there's the silicone. And there it is. I got 4 stainless screws in there. And I gooped the top of them, as you can see. There you go. And I caulked under here. So, anyway, that's how that looks. I don't know if I should be padded on the back or keel hauled for this. We'll find out. Keel haul might be fun for something new. Anyway, that's my little bag of tricks. Got it wired on there, see? It's still hard to work on the roof. It's slippery, right? And you're always sliding, so it's never any fun. Anyway, that plate, I don't know, maybe I might have to cut the corners off a little more. I cut the corners off, you can see here, 3 inches back. I might cut more off it if it looks like it's gonna, you know, grab the wind. But that's it for now up here. That looks okay. Okay, so there's the liner coming down through the pipe. And now, so that insulated chimney, it only goes from the ceiling up through the roof and out. And what you have down here is double walled pipe. It's not the insulated pipe that goes from there up. And I'll show you that in a minute. That's how much length we've got left over. Now, I'm not going to try and stretch it out. Like this would be 25 feet. And we're probably only at about the 15-foot mark here. So, but I'm not going to try and like stretch it out and make it longer. I'm just going to leave it compressed like that. And if there is, you know, a little bit of a ridge on the inside, you know, it's not like a smooth wall pipe. That's not really much of a consequence in a gas appliance as opposed to if this was going to be a wood burning appliance feeding this. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to stretch it out. I'm just going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it off, you know, about here, and then I can pull it down a little bit to make it sit on here when I go to bolt it on. Okay, so here's that piece of double wall pipe that was in there, and it's in this compressed state right now, about 3.5 feet long. We could make that almost double the length. And I've cleaned it out, and I'm just going to run the brush in there just a little bit more, but that's pretty much the state of the chimney. So, okay, so there's a collar that sits on here that double wall pipe sits over, okay? And but it comes off, 2 screws, and that'll allow us to hook our 4-inch flexible pipe to this. So before we do that, we have to slide the double wall piece up here and have it short so that I can access this to clamp it to the stove. All right. Okay, so I stuck that end up there. And now for you purists that are going to look at that and say, oh no, the crimped end, that's got to be pointing down. Well, they're both ends they're reversed on these things. So the pipe that's up there goes down inside of this one, and that one goes up, and there's a collar that blanks that off. And same here, you've got that tapered end up inside of here that's going to come down over this, and this will come down over the outside of the collar. In any event, that's right. It may look wrong to you by having the crimped end up like that. Okay, so down here at the stove, I've got this telescopic pipe lifted up a bit, and I've put a block of wood in here because I don't want to work in here with my fingers and have that come down on me. Now, I had this drilled before, and okay, so what I did was, and you can see right here, I marked it. See right here and there and there I marked where I had the holes drilled before, so I should be able to get my screws back in there. So I've got, I think, 5 or 6 screws all the way around, so let's get those put in. Okay, so I've got my sheet metal screws in there. I'm just going to put a little dab of that high temperature silicone over each one. I was looking around for it, and I went and did some shopping, and I came up with this stuff. This is HVAC silicone, good for to 475 Fahrenheit. Okay, so those connections are made there and siliconed over. Now we got this collar. Just got to line it up here. There's a screw goes on each side, and then we'll put this pipe down. Okay, so the pipe is, I drilled through it into that collar, and I put screws all around. But remember, you got your liner in there, so drill, you know, really carefully. Just get through that collar and put really short screws, because you don't want to puncture the liner. Same up here. I put 3 screws up here. Same thing. Be very careful when you're drilling in. Just don't poke your drill in and go boom with the drill, because you're going to go into the pipe. And that's going to defeat the purpose, okay? Okay, so for up here, like I explained before, that looks like it's backwards or it's not inside the pipe, right? But you remember there's a male part of that collar that comes down inside of the inside of this pipe. So this is, even though it's got those little corrugations on it, that's just the outside wall of the pipe. And we also have the liner, right? So everything's going up inside the liner. So, but that can confuse people, that corrugated end, because it looks like that wants to be facing down, but it depends on how the pipe is. That can be up in it because it's the outside wall, okay? It's not the inside wall. It's, I explained that before. But we've got this collar here. They sell for this purpose, and it takes away all the sins. And there's the collar installed with screws here and around 2 sides. And I'm going to clean this up, and I'm going to get some flat black stove paint and paint this chimney. And that pretty much finishes the install of the pipe.